Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I'm using a mic. I bought this like 2 months ago, but I hadn't made any videos to test it out until now. So, we'll see. I saw Nikki Philippi using it, so I was like, well, if she's using it, I'm gonna use it too. I'm definitely nervous about this video. I have my TV going in the background just because I want some like background noise. A lot has changed since I talked to you guys last. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you would know like what's been going on in my life, like the ups and downs and everything. But I believe this channel doesn't have a big following yet. I need some water. So I think already a year ago I created this channel. I did my channel intro, and my intentions were to basically restart my YouTube with a new goal in mind, a new mission, in other words. And then I made like 5 or 6 videos on this channel. I posted them. I loved them. I loved creating them. I loved editing them. And then I kind of disappeared. I've been through a lot. And I'm actually going to talk about that today. I've always gone back and forth about like, oh, do I want to do YouTube? Like, it's really hard. Like, I don't know if I want to do it. I just don't think it's something that's for me, but I really love it. And just kind of like this back and forth thing, because it's a hard job. It's a job. It's hard, but it's so fun and rewarding at the same time. I made the decision that this is something that I think I always want to be doing, because it's not just about making life look picture perfect, but it's just about capturing the good and the bad and the memories and being able to look back on my growth. And realistically, growth is sometimes not being able to pick up the camera for 2 months, not being able to pick up the camera for a year, because that's just life. So, with that being said, I hope you will forgive me for not posting any videos for way too long. It's kind of a long rant, but I feel like if you make YouTube videos, you understand what I mean. Let's get into the actual like life update. I have some updates that I want to update you on. The first thing, major thing, I'm just going to mention this one because it has nothing to do with the other 2 key topics. But the first thing is I got a brand new car, you guys. I actually got the same car that I had, so I have a Kia Soul. It's like a black Kia Soul. It's a brand new 2021. Beautiful like exterior, beautiful interior. I love the features. It's just a beautiful car, and I'm so grateful, so proud of myself. I'm very nervous just because it's a big commitment. It's a big financial responsibility. My credit score is going to be very impacted by this, good or bad, depending if I make my payments. But I am nervous. I will admit I'm nervous, just that responsibility. But as I said, I deserved it and I wanted it, so I made it happen. Second key topic is I no longer have a day job, and I have been there for 2 years, I believe. I had been working there, but I no longer work there. Right now I actually do DoorDash. So I'm a DoorDash driver. I deliver food, and honestly, it's great. I love it. I'm definitely not making as much money as I could be, as I used to be, but I just have to find like my routine. I'm pretty much my like own supervisor. I get to create my own schedule. I work whenever I want to work. If I don't want to work, I don't have to work. I get to see like new restaurants, new areas I haven't been to, just because I'm driving all around. So I really enjoy what I'm doing right now. If there is something that I do want to pursue, then that's what I will do, but for now I really enjoy it. So getting into how that actually happened. This is tough for me to talk about. I need to normalize or help normalize these just hard conversations. Let me disclaim, some people may feel like, why are you putting family business out there to the public? And it's not really me I'm not trying to invade anybody's personal space or anything like that. But the thing is that this may not have necessarily happened to me, but I was there. I witnessed it. And I have feelings. And it impacted me. And it impacted my family. And I deserve to have my feelings validated and speak on, you know, how I feel and what's going on. And a big part of that is because of this. So anyways, I feel feel like this video is kind of everywhere because I'm anxious and my thoughts are just like racing. Anyways, so in December, my brother and his fiance with their 2 children and 1 baby that was in the uterus had actually moved from Virginia back to Arizona. We were aware that my brother had been using drugs. My awareness was marijuana and pills. I had just assumed like Xanax or Percocet or something like that. So we were very much aware. No, I know it has been an issue for many years. So fast forward to February, my second nephew, so the baby that was in utero, had actually been born, and he was born actually born going through withdrawals from fentanyl. So it actually turns out that my brother and his fiance had both been on drugs. Using. They had both been using. It's not funny. It's just uncomfortable. In February, pretty much just found out that the drug use was more severe than we had thought, and that it was an addiction at that point. Now because my nephew was born going through withdrawals, CPS was called. So they CPS, I'm sure you guys know, Child Protective Services, they came to our home, and basically my brother was evaluated, we were evaluated, and it was determined that my niece and my nephew were not safe in this house, just pretty much because we knew that he was using, we knew that my brother was using drugs. We did not know that my brother's fiance was using. But either way, it's just kind of those things like you knew and you didn't do anything, and that feeling, that was very traumatic for myself, because that day obviously my brother was very out of it. So myself and my stepmother had to really step in and, you know, grab my niece and my nephew, get them, you know, their clothes, their stuffed animals, just explain to them what was going on to the best that we could. I have this picture in my head of my niece, clinging to my dad, and just tears in her eyes, and it's like an image that I can't get out of my head. In a situation like that, I tried my best to just like explain to her, you're not gonna be with us, but you and baby brother are gonna go away for a little while. And don't be scared, because like, what do you tell? What are you supposed to say? So after that, I remember seeing my best friend, and just days after that, like, you know, her telling me like, you are so disconnected, like you are not here right now, like, and that's really how I felt. I had to just disconnect myself from my body, just like no emotion at that point. So that happened this February. So my niece and my nephew are in a foster home right now. They're actually with their the baby brother, the newborn. They're all in the same house, which is really good. The thought of them like have been split up. So they're in a home. As far as I know, it's safe. that's the thing that like you don't know. You see those stories, so all I can do is just hope that they are, you know, safe. But from what it sounds like, they are safe. That's all that I know. Because of COVID, parents are the only ones that really get in-person visits. So in February they told us it would take up to 3 months to determine if they were going to be placed with us, because pretty much they cannot be placed with their mother and father until it is proven that they are completely like drug-free. That was already like 3 months ago, and I just heard the other day that it may take up until October. It's hard, but as long as they are safe, taken care of, I am okay with that, because I want my brother and my sister-in-law to go through rehab and get the help that they need so that they can take care of those kids. So if it takes up until October, then so be it. We could not have gone through this kind of trauma as a family just to end up, you know, them being back in foster care. So as you guys have probably known, I'm sure I've mentioned it. I know I've definitely mentioned it in Instagram. Anxiety. I've struggled with anxiety since like middle school, high school. I've just never always been in tune with it and how it physically affects me. So after, you know, everything happened with the CPS, around March, I actually had a panic attack at work, and it was the first time I'd ever had a panic attack. Now, I've had episodes where I'm like hyperventilating, I can't breathe, like that's not anything compared to this panic attack that I experienced. And what's scary about it is it wasn't the first time that happened. I had 2 panic attacks before I realized that what was happening was a panic attack. The first panic attack was the night that CPS came. I had thought that I was high, and I was like, did I eat an edible? And the second time that I was experiencing a panic attack was actually when I went to work. Remember trying to work and make food, and my eyes just kept closing, and I just felt like my hands were just like really weak. And every time I tried to grab something next to me, my hand just missed it, just slightly. And I'd just be like, and it was the strangest feeling. And like, I thought that like, am I high? Because it's similar to that feeling. And there was a point where I was walking, making food, and I slipped on a tomato. So my whole body just like, whoosh. I caught myself though. And so I was like shaking off my boot trying to get the tomato off, and there was no tomato. I just like blacked out for a second, in other words. And then a week later is when I actually had a full-on panic attack episode where it just came in waves of like dizziness, and I was just like, I'm being pulled down, and like I couldn't grab things properly. My hands were weak. And so I remember, you know, asking the other workers there, hey, can I sit down? Like, I feel nauseous. Like, I don't know what's wrong. So I drink water, I try to eat, nothing. I'm texting my mom, like telling her what's going on. Like, is this related to anxiety? And all of a sudden I just felt this wave, like just of like emotion. And I had to run to the bathroom because I just like, it was weird. It's like I knew my body was like sending this signal to me. And I just knew that what was going to happen next, I needed to be in private. So I ran to the bathroom, and literally just the emotion poured out of me of just like crying, hyperventilating. Like, I could not breathe. My heart was like racing. My chest was just like, it was awful. And I remember just like with my hands over the bathroom sink at work, just like, you're not dying. Like, are you dying? Like breathe, like you're okay, like everything is okay. But still I felt like, am I gonna die? My legs just like got weak. They were super heavy, and I just felt like I couldn't stand. So I remember just like falling to the floor and just like letting my body like just lay there and trying to breathe. And at that point, I know I called my manager and I was like, I'm having a panic attack, I need you to come into the store. And I think it was like a good 2 hours had passed, and I let them know, like I let the other workers know like I was having a panic attack, and I ended up having to stay at work. Nobody came in to help. This is America for you. But anyways, 2 days later I decided not to stay with the company for my mental health, my home life, what was going on at home and just with myself was unmanageable, to the point that work was adding to the stress. And anytime I went to work with what was going on at home and then I was getting hit with work stress, my performance at work was declining, and I just wasn't happy with that. I never want that to happen ever again. From that moment I was just like, all right, like, this is not okay anymore. You can't keep making jokes about your mental health. You can't keep brushing it off. You can't put it, you know, on the back burner. Like, this isn't okay anymore, Sierra. Just because for years I've known that I've struggled with mental health, and it's always like, well, I will get help in the future. I'll get help when I'm ready. And it's just like, the thing is, you're never gonna be ready, and it's gonna get so bad to the point that this kind of thing happens, and it did. And so from that point, I put in my 2 weeks notice at work. I went to the doctor and I got on medication. It's not like a antidepressant. It's just like an anti-anxiety. It's like as a needed basis. Just because it was the one thing she had prescribed that was non-addictive. So I was just like, you know, addiction runs in the family, so I don't want anything like that. So I have that. And then I started seeing a therapist shortly after. I literally signed up that same week to see a therapist, and I actually signed up with BetterHelp. And ever since then, I experienced anxiety every day, like every single day, except for today. I have days where like I have no anxiety, and it's amazing. I get so much shit done, you guys. Like, I love when I don't have anxiety. I think one of the things that I experience the most, it is like the brain fog. That's when I know I need to slow down. I lose all of my focus, like all of my thoughts, and I can insert like clips of me on Instagram talking, and just I can't say anything that I was trying to say because it completely disappears from my mind, because my mind is like racing with thoughts. Brain fog, man. Brain fog. Okay. I don't understand how it's set up. Like, it doesn't... Fuck, I shouldn't have drank that tea. I can't focus my thoughts. Oh my god, my heart's racing. Oh my, there's like, I need to calm myself down. Now, going through, now, I'm anxious, fuck, okay, hold on. I signed up for therapy, as I told you guys, with BetterHelp. I did that for 3 weeks. I'm not doing it anymore right now. It was actually a very good experience. There were things that like awarenesses that I had of just like myself, my behaviors, the patterns, habits, and I truly do believe that therapy is, you know, one thing that I need, and a lot of people can benefit from therapy. But I actually was paired with a therapist that it didn't work out. It was on the 3rd week, so our 3rd session together, she just confused me with another patient or client, and she was asking me about my patients at work, because she thought I was a CN, and I was like, I'm not a CN. And I told her, I was like, I work at Salad & Go at the time. And then she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, like, you work at Salad & Go, but you were a CN, you had patients. and it was just an awkward experience. Just having to like, no, that's not me, and then just having to like fill the silence. It wasn't okay, because when you have such an important job, you can't do that. Like, it's important. This could be life or death. Like, you don't know if that was my last straw. And I did have a cry about it, because it was so scary for me to admit that like I need therapy, and then to put myself through therapy, and then to have that happen. I just got scared, and so I haven't gone back, and I canceled my subscription. I definitely, as I said earlier, I know it's important, but school starts this June. I'm debating on enrolling until September. I am for sure enrolling, because I still want to work with clients with life coaching, you know, health coaching, and because of what I've experienced, it might shift. It definitely will shift, because things are just not as they were 2 years ago when I realized that I wanted to be a life coach. I actually haven't told anybody, but I think 3 people, that I'm actually starting a business. Probably not till next year. I'm working though on like sketches and the product. So without telling you what it is, the mission of my product is to provide comfort and words of encouragement for those in need during difficult times. It's something that I'm looking forward to, starting a business, you know, continuing my YouTube, going to therapy, getting into school. It has been hard. The last year and a half has been awful, and I would never wish this kind of pain and suffering and feeling of just like loss on anybody. I'm still moving and there's things that I look forward to in my life. That's the life update, you guys. I'm sorry if it was everywhere. I've got anxiety. I try to organize it, but just thank you for watching. Have a great day. I hope you make good choices and you take care of yourself so you can take care of others. All right. Bye.